between the two teams. It's going to be Winston Zarya v. Winston Zarya, so NA still keeping with its particular style. And you look at the DPS on both sides. We talked about the DPS identity here for Vancouver. It's going to be Shockwave on the Tracer, Dalton off on the Genji.
However, it's Lucio Moira for the Titans. This is a very different composition. Shredlock already getting pounded down by the Discord Orb. It's going to be very hard for him to get in, but there's Shockwave beating Striker in a 1v1. That's unexpected.
Dalton, though, losing the one-on-one. The Tayo off on the other end, and Shredlock went pretty deep at the same time. So Vancouver, they get the early pick off on the Tracer side of things, but still in a tough spot down 2.
Yeah, great move by Smurf as well. Keeps pushing Shockwave back out. Now Smurf getting pressured heavily in this bubble, taking a ton of damage, but just barely stays alive, and it's actually Violet getting the next kill.
And that's the mark of a great tank player, right? It's about going in as much as possible, getting out with as little HP as you can. I mean, you do as much damage as you do, regardless of what your health is. So Smurf just so good at riding the line.
And to be honest, I'm not a fan of this comp from the Titans. This is their big moment to use this Coalescence, but somehow Violet has a Transcendence before Rolf has been able to use this ultimate. So I think there's virtually no chance this fight goes well for the Titans unless Shockwave can like stick Twilight. I think he needs exactly that stick, and Choi needs to not have Bubble to have any chance in this fight.
I think Shockwave just getting checked by Striker there. Striker now at Pulse Bomb. Just moments. Shockwave looking for the early pulse, doesn't quite connect. Meanwhile, Striker off on the other end. Goes in, Shredlock falls, and the Shock again just winning in the neutral game before even the ults come out.
Yeah, I mean, that's just Cole versus Trance, really. Like, there's not much you can do there. Cole has that offensive utility potential, but not even remotely close to keeping up with the power of a team just diving in with Trance. And this is a consistent theme from the Shock that when they have this Trance, they're so great at playing passive, baiting the enemy to overextend, and then they just use Trance with an incredible level of aggression. You see every single player on the team charging it as one, and now they have a huge lead on Graviton Surge. No counter, Karkar 20 away from beat. So if Troy plays high tempo here, this should be a quick wipe.
Can Dalton do anything to avoid the Grav here, aside from deflecting it, where Dalton's going to go in, and okay, well, Grav already in play, KSA down to kick things off, and the Shock just so good at securing these early eliminations. It feels like Vancouver hasn't had a real team fight here, Jake.
Yeah, they do get the point flip though, so they are going to be able to earn some percentage and deny that from the Shock, but Smurf, he's doing such a great job holding this Primal. As I say that, I don't love this commitment from Primal. I kind of wish Smurf would let himself die there, or maybe just back off from the aggression, but oh, if he finds these kills, it's completely worth it though. A delay on the enemy Zarya. KSA, he's so slow to build that grab because he's been constantly punished.
This is tough for Vancouver. Again, you just kind of look at this. Shock are so aggressive here, Jake, that Vancouver, it feels like they're up against the clock before the first person falls, and usually it's very early in the fight.
Yeah, Vancouver, though, they have all the tools they need to win. The problem, though, Violet, he's almost got another Transcendence. This is his second Trance before KSA has Grab, and I don't know that KSA is going to be ready for it, so this could be a potential hard counter on the Trance. It does come out early. KSA is going to drop the Grab, but Trance is still going. It's kind of a questionable Grab.
Barrier in for Vancouver. Everything on the line as they try and turn it, but Striker and Twilight get to the back again. Dalton wasn't able to get much with the blade because of the Transcendence, and again, the Shock just overpowering.
Well, with the D.Va and the Sigma not seeing so much play recently, you know, you could have this idea that it's very hard to eat the orb, but now we're already seeing the Titans make the adjustment. This is a map where Zen is even better, though, so I'd be really shocked to see him over here. It's going to be a lot about the Zen trades. Violet, though, he's been so sharp on the Zen. Remember, he got the first kill in that last fight for the Shock. Or the second kill.
Violet has been good all season long, but it feels like he's really stepped it up a notch over the last few matches, to be sure. Vancouver right now, still healthy. Neither team going for a full commit just yet, but Dalton getting poked down, has the orb on him right now. Decent amount of focus fire heading his way, but they swap targets over the KSA. KSA now in real danger, getting super low, can't go anywhere. Tayo finishes him off.
Violet protected by Twilight, just beats down Shredlock. Shredlock had no follow-up on that dive, it felt like. Just great counter peel from the rest of the Shock, and the Shock just did such a beautiful job there of not only attacking and killing KSA, but also peeling their backline and keeping Violet alive. Typically, we see teams forced to make the decision. You know, do you let your Zen die and just go all in, or do you, make the opposite play, try to peel your Zen with everything? And the Shock just did a masterclass there. Doing both at the same time is very, very difficult in the dive mirror. And there's Dalton just getting absolutely melted by Choi Hyobin. He's so dangerous on this Zarya. It's just such a carry hero, and Choi's just such a carry player. This is a match made in heaven.
The front line for the Shock is just devastating, and I think it has a lot to do with how Vancouver's struggling. And then it's not like there's any other weaker part for the Shock. Tayo gets a little bit too deep there, so there is an opportunity, but Shockwave gets caught by Violet. Even when Vancouver gets an opportunity, you have a hero play from someone like Violet that just immediately strips it.
Yeah, now the dive comes in, and Violet has totally free space to just deliver orbs downrange. He also has a very early trance. We'll see if he wants to go aggressive with it. I think he might just like to hold on to it. Rolf on 1 HP does get cut down. Traded for Choi, though.
5 on 5, and here we go again. It's the Smurf show. Just diving into the backline. The judgment's so good. Primal's at the right time when getting low. Now just gonna bop Sigma all around, take him on out. And look at the progress here, Jake. It's 72% to 0. The Shock are just too good.
Yeah, at the very least, you can say for the Titans that they've managed to stabilize the support ult situation here, but ults are relatively even. Both teams with a lot of bank here, and unless KSA finds some sort of really massive flux, seems hard to get kills with that ultimate compared to grab. You know, you can just grab Dalton's blade, solo grab, and burn him down, and that's absolutely worth it here. So I think Choi has the more flexible ult.
Well, Vancouver, they open the early rally, and Karkar just gets assassinated. Tayo and Striker heading on in. Here's the flux. Vancouver still trying to make something happen. Dalton off the flux, moving in with the blade. Vancouver, best chance they've had all round long, but it's not over yet. Tayo's still a threat. Striker's coming in from the back, and you've yet to deal with Smurf. So even with Vancouver having a decent engage, there's still, it's a struggle just to get the flip.
Yeah, Striker, he's just going to try and retreat out of this one, reset. But the big worry there is that was absolutely everything coming out from the Titans with the exception of Shockwave's Pulse Bomb. And Choi and Striker, they've got the Pulse Grab combo. So this could be open and shut. I think KSA, he's got to find some sort of massive eat here. More likely to find the Pulse Bomb than the Grab, but you just need to get one of those abilities here. I just have so much confidence in Choi and Striker to land that combo that if anybody important gets caught by this, especially those backline Brig and Zen, they're just going to be easy pickings.
Shockwave needed to get the early pick of the Pulse Bomb. I think it was one of the only win conditions Vancouver had without a whole lot of resources. Now they got to deal with Choi. Gets the grab, sets up the Pulse Bomb. Shredlock immediately deleted. The Vancouver now down 5-6. The Shock moving in, and again, you look at Smurf, super low. But this time actually doesn't get out. The focus fire there for Vancouver. So now there's a chance they can head back in. However, at 99%, they need to put someone on soon. They do. Shockwave's there, and Vancouver's still fighting. But the question is, Jake, for how long?
Danger now. Twilight, though, he's very close to that trance. Tayo with the blade, and we've seen how Shock love to get aggressive with those ultimates. However, Choi dropping low. Choi cut down by Shockwave. Violet trades it back, though, and Trance Blade still a very viable combo here. Smurf's coming in with the Primal as well, and this got to be the map for the Shock now.
Dalton getting juggled in the back. Not a lot of places to go. Nowhere close. I mean, this is a little bit interesting. Take a look at, okay, not quite as much as maybe bring up the Echo, because to a degree, if you're super outmatched, Jake, is it time to get silly? Is that the best course, or do you just run your head into a wall?
I think Echo's just too hard to play right now. Like, you just don't offer enough to your team in terms of burst potential. I mean, you have a lot of burst potential, but you don't offer enough in terms of survivability. And it's just too difficult for Zen and Brig to keep you alive when they have a lot of other healers, or rather players, to keep alive to heal. The Sigma, though, is going to give Vancouver maybe a poke advantage. However, Shock, they're going to have the much more explosive dive, able to bubble Smurf on his way in.
So Vancouver going up to the high ground, off on the right side. The Shock don't look particularly really afraid of it, not really changing their positioning too much. I think they're just kind of waiting for Vancouver to commit to the point right now, Jake.
Yeah, they want to wait for Vancouver to overstep their bounds. We see Smurf has been pretty much hiding this entire time. Now he jumps up early, and he's still going to be passive, just very much biding his time on Smurf. I actually like this a lot. And when he strikes hard. A brutal dive coming in from all the dive DPS at once. And Smurf's going to eat everyone for breakfast right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect adage of patience paying off, right? Where sometimes, Winston, you feel compelled to try and make a play, and look, you wait in the right area, sometimes the prey comes to you, and Vancouver just got rolled over there. They ran into Smurf, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, KSA, he can set on that high ground above the tree as long as he wants, but Shock, they're just never going to react to that movement, never going to fight where Sigma wants to fight, and in these small, condensed hallways, it may seem like a meme, actually, but this is the way that you can watch around corners third person. It's actually genuinely a real play. There on Smurf.
But now we got Tayo heading on in. KSA sliced up immediately. And this is just great. And also, good showing for Tayo, where we are evaluating Tayo, a new player to the Shock, and consistent performance for a Blade there.
Yeah, now Striker's just going to push into the spawn. Why not? And Smurf, he's going to set up once again in an incredibly aggressive angle. What this does, it means he can just walk out around a corner, drop right in on the enemy, You know, he's already got Primal essentially, so no issues there, but he's going to have such a good initiation. KSA going to make the switch over to Zarya, but at this point, it's far from guaranteed that he's going to get a grab. You don't necessarily charge it too fast in this comp.
I don't think it's likely at this point, and Smurf hops into the back. Rolf just gets deleted, immediately crushed, no Primal required. And the neutral execution right now from the Shock, Jake, is actually insane. How many of these fights are we seeing where they win with either just one ult or nothing? It's ridiculous.
That's just rally ZP. Like, KSA 22% grab. I think it's almost impossible for him to get it by the end of the round here, unless Titans can, you know, the rest of the players can use their ults to cap. But Choi probably just going to force a trance with this grab, but that is going to leave a huge opening for especially Smurf to have a great Primal. Choi does get pressured back, though. He's going to need some assistance from his team, but of course he gets it. Shock staying coordinated. Oh, no. Striker unscouted.
Well, they're going to need it this time. Choi down after saying it to Graviton. Shock, follow through on it, get down 2 immediately. I mean, this is down 2. This is still the best look Vancouver's had, and still not a great look, as it turns out.
Yeah, you can kill Choi, but he still gets his grab out. Still kills KSA critically, so once again, resetting that Zarya ult charge. This is really intelligent by the Shock to target down the enemy Zarya with the late switch into the round, because he's just not going to get his ultimate online, and this is where Zarya really suffers, getting constantly reset. You never get a chance to build the energy stacks. You never get a chance to build ultimate.
Transcendence out early for the Shock. Tayo brings out the blade. Dalton played on the other side, gets stymied by the Transcendence, taken down by Striker. And the Shock just trading out so much more effectively. They force Shredlock to Primal under pressure. Final 12 seconds left. The Vancouver Titans, they need to get over to the point, but they're just getting muscled out right now, Jake. Final 6 seconds. Striker and Violet, no mercy. As Smurf chases it down, 1 second. They trigger overtime, but this is anything but ideal for Vancouver.
Oh my god, they're actually going to do it. Oh my
Why
god.
not?
It's such
they need 33%.
It's not the figure. They could throw with this, but it's pretty unlikely, to be fair. I mean, they've got 4 minutes, and there's no like core hit scan at least, but I do think Rolf and KSA should be relatively easy to deny the fire on this map. Skybox not too tall here, and they're playing a Mercy who is incredibly vulnerable to being dove, so Shock are committing on this. I wonder if they'll live to regret it, but I mean, the worst that could happen is a draw, right?
Yeah, I mean, they actually cannot lose. Now, they could extend the series out by 1 map, which I don't think they would be super happy with. But we'll see if Vancouver can punish what could be argued a bit of hubris.
Striker Farah.
Yeah,
he's got it.
Goes down immediately.
And that's the map.
That's it. Yeah,
well,
that's it. That's a quick one. It's very fast. Very
Striker just trying to get some more hero variants in his playtime. How this ends up breaking down. Once again, it's going to be Choi on the Zarya, taking on KSA on the Sigma. Other than that, it's a full mirror. But Smurf, I expect him to get so aggressive right now with the quick bubble.
You know, there's a little bit of respect here. You're putting Smurf on the Winston, Choi on the Zarya. You're not doing the swap that we didn't even look at last time before. It was very sneaky, but it was also over in 2 seconds. So I think you have to almost give us a pass on that. Treadlock super low. Start off this early fight. Focused on down. The Shock still very healthy. Choi under a little bit of pressure, but super dash moves in, takes down 2. Oh boy.
Well, I mean, that was a nice play from Super, but like he didn't even deal any other damage to Rolf. He just died to 1 dash, so that's what gave him that first reset, which means that, you know, the pressure had already, the damage really had already been done by Smurf, by Striker, attacking the backline. And KSA once again going to switch to the Zarya. I don't see him getting an ulti this round, ZP. I'm not going to lie. I like to have faith in the underdog, but whew.
You were former teammates with Super once upon a time before the Overwatch League. I mean, can you say anything to bring this kid down a peg as we watch him here on Genji, head getting larger?
No, he's a confident kid, but, you know, there's reason for him to be confident. He actually is one of the, you know, there are some players, I think, who are like this, who can really play more than their main role at a very high level. And I think Super's one of them. I think, you know, players like Hanbin, I think of as another. We see Shock starting to take the high ground. Karkar forced off. Shredlock down. Oh my gosh. KSA.
Yeah, Zarya stuck in the worst spot possible. Just getting bounced around like a rag doll. Oh, the Shock. Making it look
Take on the Twilight. That's something. You still have Trance up for Violet rather, so not really a big deal to lose your other support.
Every now and again, Shockwave does something. They go, guys, do something as Vancouver, and then the rest of the team just falls. Graviton dropped on the point. The Shock looking just about unstoppable here. Titans making their last stand. Transcendent soon to be fading, and this is just so tough where it buys them time for another round of players to be coming out, but the Shock are really in a tough spot. I mean, as long as Choi stays alive here, high energy, he's going to come back onto the point and just continue shredding.
Yeah, he's going to have to walk the long way around. There is a rally for Karkar offering some momentary stabilization, but Violet just standing in the middle, delivering headshot after headshot. Now it's only Twilight for the healing, but Choi, he's still fully charged. He's still dealing incredible DPS in this fight. Probably the most difficult hero in the game to recontest into. Choi, though, he's dropping low. If Choi falls, wait, is he gonna get a second grab? Please just cap the point, Shark. Don't let Choi get 2 grabs in one fight. He's playing Zarya. It's the most expensive ult in the game. Looks cool.
I mean, I'd say it'd be important, but the way things are going, I'm not sure Vancouver's gonna get through point A, so could just be showing off.
Yeah, I think Shock, they're now in tryhard mode once again, though, because now they smell blood in the water for that fastest map ever.
It would be a very, very quick series. Vancouver, I mean, they still have to play it out, right? They still have to treat this seriously, try and go for the reverse sweep, but this would probably be the most ridiculous reverse sweep in OW history if Vancouver somehow turned the tide of the match. But it's not going to happen that way, where the Shock are super healthy and just way more focus fire on it.
Watching ZP, like, what did Treadlock do? He just jumped in, like, on nobody. It was, like, the most passive jump humanly possible. I mean, Vancouver are officially mentally boomed. Like, that was like the most conservative, safe Winston jump I have like ever seen. He didn't land on anybody. He didn't zap anybody. He got the Zarya bubble. Like, they just don't understand how to beat the Shock here. Like, this is a strategic mismatch. It's a gameplay mismatch. Striker does fall, so a little bit of a 5v6 here for moments, but you know, Striker will be back very soon. This is the opening though for Vancouver. At least they can break the choke a little bit easily.
Yeah, I mean, they have the ability to get through while Shock are waiting to be back up to a full 6. Shock don't immediately have an ult to throw, but soon Pulse Bomb is going to be on deck. And KSA finds Super. There's a chance with Super out of the fight. It's a 6-on-5. Smurf, though. That's backline. Yeah, takes down Rulf before Transcendence can be built. Striker just doing whatever he wants in the back, and when people just stop moving, the spirit is broken, Jake.
Striker. Just kill him.
This is brutal. We've casted a lot of Overwatch, Jake, and this is by far the most one-sided match we've seen this year, but also the most one-sided match we've ever casted together. And I look back on my career in Overwatch, it's getting through a lot of matches. I don't know if anything else was quite as one-sided as this. This is bad.
This is an absolute sufferfest for the Vancouver Titans. They've got some ultimates to work with, but you do have Choi with the grab, and you've got Twilight with the rally as well. Early rally from Karkar. Incredibly defensive play. But instant grab on a Shredlock gonna force the trance, and the perfect bubble by Smurf. It cuts out the trance. Just stop. Just let him go.
There's no mercy for Shock. None in the least. They make Vancouver waste ultimates. They get the early pickoff. They have the good timing, and I'd say they're already dead, but it's been that way maps ago.
I would love to see the stat on the match
skeleton
time right here. Like, are they about to take the record? It feels that way to me, but it's a contentious record, right? Fastest Overwatch League match ever. I think now Shock make this full hold, and especially if there's limited overtime, it's very possible. That's what I'm thinking about now. I'm no longer thinking about the outcome of the match, ZP. I've got to admit, I'm thinking about world records right now.
One would think. Okay, Graviton is up.
Solo grab on Zarya.
Transcendence is there. Super, the counter blade, gets booped away, and you know, Super doesn't have to do anything. It's fine. He can just scream. He can foul right there to Shockwave and whatever. Shocker, I mean, I legitimately think Shock could probably win this 5-on-6 with how strong this has been.
Yeah, I don't know about true 5-on-6, but because, you know, Super, although he doesn't get killed with that blade, he does force Lucio Moira into the back line, and those are healers that absolutely do nothing when they're hiding like that. They need to be in the thick of the fight, or they're literally zero value. So I think it was a decent blade to zone out those healers, ensure the fight went well for the rest of the team. But, I mean, this is mental boon status. Dalton just in without the rest of his team, you know, dies solo. Shock, they're not giving up anything right now. Choi wants to grab right here. Yep.
Why not exit out through the gates? It's last fight territory anyways, and definitely on the whimper territory here rather than a bang. Time is over. The Shock sweep, and we did make history is the one upside about all. This was the fastest match in Overwatch League history, so there is something memorable that just happened here. I think I heard over the headset it was like 19 minutes, 23 seconds.
Wait, that's like 3 minutes faster than the old records, EP. Oh my. Oh, I don't think anyone's going to break this. Like, this might literally stand for years.